Okay, hi everybody. Here is worksheet number 5, and that is your practice for doing FOIL. And remember, you're finding each product, writing the letter and the answer in the space. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to work through these with you using the whiteboard. So we'll go ahead and work through and talk about each of these products. When you look at number 1, and this might be easier for you to work with and think about when we are doing our FOIL. So if I have x plus 5 times x minus 3, remember for this first one, we're talking about doing our FOILing. And we are going to take our first and our outer and our inner and our last products. So our first terms, x times x is x squared. Our outside terms are going to be these two terms on the outside. Remember, we have insides and outsides. We have first terms, last terms, inside terms, and outside terms. It's so important that we know the difference. Our outside term is negative 3x. Inside term, positive 5x. Last term, negative 15x. Our next step in completing this is going to be to combine our like terms. So we've got 3 steps in each of these. Our first step is to write the problem. Our second step is to FOIL. And our last step is going to be to combine our like terms. So for this example, my negative 3x and my positive 5x are going to simplify to positive 2x minus 15. If you look at your worksheet, my x squared, positive 2x, and 15 is right here at choice T. So I'm going to help you multiply these out, and you're going to do your own matching to be able to figure out which letter it fits with. Sound okay? All right. So our second example is going to be x plus 3 times x minus 3. So if you think about it, do you remember we talked about this kind of special pattern where we have opposite signs? So we have a sum and a difference, but identical values otherwise. So this one's going to be a fun one because that middle term is going to be that 0 pair. So we have x times x is x squared, and I have my minus 3x, my plus 3x, and guess what? My minus 9. So when I go to combine my like terms, do you see how this negative and this positive add up to 0? So my answer is x squared minus 9. I have a quadratic binomial because it only has 2 terms. Okay? All right. I love it. Look at what's coming up next. For number 2, we're going to have another one of our special patterns that we talked about. Instead of having a sum difference, we now have 2 completely identical. So when we have exactly the same, when we go to multiply our first terms, our outside terms, our inside terms, and our last terms. Oops, this is 1x, sorry. Check it out. When we go to combine like terms, this is where we have our double. And that double is the result of having 2 identical conversations. So we wind up with x squared plus 2x's plus 1 for our answer. All right, so we'll find that one on the sheet. And we'll take a look at number 4. So number 4 is going to have two negatives. So x minus 3 and x minus 4. I want you to get in the habit of always looking at the signs and paying attention to what that ends up doing for you math-wise. So we'll go ahead and multiply. X times x is x squared. My outside terms is minus 4x. My inside terms, and a negative times a negative is going to give me that positive value. So then finally, when I go to combine like terms, I have x squared minus 7x plus 12. So you can see I can do most of this math in my head. I'm good with my math facts. If you're not good with your math facts, check out the video I have about practicing your math facts. This next unit is easy for the kids that know their math facts and very hard for the kids that don't know the math facts. Okay, so we're going to skip ahead and I want to go over, most of these are easy, and I'm going to go up and start working on these. Actually, why don't we go ahead and jump down to some of these trinomials. So let's work on some of these ones next, okay? So we're going to go skip a few to number 21. Number 21 has us doing 2x plus 9 times 2x minus 1. So we'll go ahead and do our FOIL. 2x times 2x. 2 times 2 is 4. X times x is x squared. Outside terms, 2x times negative 1. Inside terms, 9 times 2 is 18x. 9 times negative 1. So then here I have my like terms to combine. Same variable, same power is what makes these two like terms. So that's going to give me 4x squared. Negative 2 and positive 18 make positive 16x. And then minus 9. There's my polynomial in standard form. All right. So now let's go ahead up to 22, because 22 is the first time that we have a trinomial. We have 2x plus 5 times x squared minus x plus 3. This is a trinomial because it has 1, 2, 3 terms. And hey, we haven't done one of these yet, but would you like to try a box method? So if we want to do the box method, we're going to go ahead and draw our box like this, because we're going to put x squared minus x and plus 3 in each column. And then on the side, I'll put 2x and 5. So when I go to multiply these together, this represents that multiplication. So this times this, that product goes inside here. So this is going to be 2x cubed, because I have 1, 2, 3 x's. Minus 2x squared. The negative times the 2 is negative 2. X times x, x squared. 2 times 3 is 6, and there's no more x's. So they just... x times 1 is just x. Second row, 5 times x squared is 5x squared. 5 times negative x, negative 5x. 5 times 3 is 15. When it's time to combine like terms, my like terms are diagonal from each other. So I have my 2x cubes from here, and I have my positive 5 and negative 2 make 3x squared. And negative 5x and positive 6x's make one positive x. And don't forget I have my 15. Alright, that was number 22. Now we'll go ahead and we'll take a look at number 23. So 23 is going to give us x minus 3, 2x squared minus x minus 2. Would you like to do the box again or distributive property? I heard you say box. Okay, so we'll have 2x squared minus x minus 2 across the top and x minus 3 across the side. And we'll go ahead and draw the rest of our box. There we go. Alright, let's fill in values. 2x squared times x sounds like 2x to the third. X times negative x is minus x squared. X times negative 2 is minus 2x. Negative 3 times 2x squared is negative 6x squared. Negative 3 times negative x is positive 3x. Negative 3 times negative 2 is positive 6. Now let's go ahead and combine like terms. Remember, our like terms are diagonal from each other. 2x cubed. And then we have minus 7x squared plus 1x plus 6. Alright, so I want you to keep on working on this worksheet and see if you can think about what a naughty thought is. That's going to be this worksheet. On the back of this sheet, we have some practice for division. So this is the one, remember, where you're going to go ahead and you're going to separate each term and give it its own part of the divisor. So we can do a couple of these if you want. Let's see, we can zoom in and make these a little bit easier for you to see. How's that go? All right, so when I'm looking at this first problem, what I want to do is go ahead and rewrite this. Oh, I don't see a plus sign here, so I don't have to. All I need to do is think about what can be simplified by looking at what GCF can be simplified out of each of these. 42 and 14 are both divisible by 7. So if I divide a 7 out of 42, I get 6. And a 7 out of 14, I get 2. Uh-oh. Guess what? That can be simplified more. A 2 comes out of 6. So that's going to give me a 3. My x's simplify and my y's cancel out completely. So this final answer is 3x squared. Okay. Let's talk about this one, because this is what I wanted you to see as far as anytime you have that minus or a plus sign, that is what makes these into polynomials. Remember, a polynomial is a collection of terms. So what you're going to do is you're going to rewrite this as 8 over 2 minus 6x over 2. Then you're going to simplify that to 4 minus 3x. So you're going to share out that divisor with every term. You're going to rethink this one as 35a squared over 7a minus 21a over 7a. Then when you simplify each fraction, here my a's cancel out and 7 comes out of 21 3 times. Here, 1a cancels out. 7 comes out of 35 5 times, leaving me with 5a minus 3 as my answer. My next value, I'm going to go ahead and take 12ab squared over negative 4ab minus 4ab over negative 4ab. This one's tricky. You're going to get caught up in these negatives if you're not careful. Negative 4 into 12 comes out negative 3 times. My a's cancel, and this b cancels out with one of those, giving me a b. Minus negative 4 and negative 4 simplify to negative 1, and these a's and these b's cancel out. So what you end up with is negative 3b plus 1. That's a tricky one for sure. Alright, so as you get your answers, your instructions are to find each quotient and shade the part of the picture that has the answer. And careful, don't get strung up by these. So when you color in where you see your answers, like here I see 3b plus 1, so we would color that in. And do I see 5a minus 3? I see 5a plus 3, but I definitely want 5a minus 3. I wonder if that's a typo, because that's definitely minus. Come back to that one. How about 4a minus 3, or 4 minus 3x? Do you see it before I do? 4 minus 3x, there it is. So we'll shade this part. And 3x squared. Do I see 3x squared anywhere? I see 3x. Keep looking for that one. Alright, oh, here's 3x squared. So come on back and check your answers with me. Keep working. Alright, does your picture look like mine? Our division rhythm looks like it is a guitar. So here was that 5a minus 3 that I couldn't find earlier. Alright, so I'll go ahead and I'll scoot up so you can see my work a little bit better, or my answers. Once I stopped doing our work together, I went ahead and in my head, I went ahead and just divided this, and then I divided this. If it's easier for you, instead of thinking about dividing or sharing that out, a lot of times what I'll end up doing is writing the divisor multiple times and then talking about each fraction individually. So if I have only 2 terms in the numerator, I'll just rewrite it again, and I'll think about this as one fraction and then this as another fraction. All right, good job. Keep working hard.